Let's go to this now. Vodacom has been fined 1 million rand for contravening sections of the Consumer Protection Act. The National Consumer Tribunal found that Vodacom's conduct is unethical by imposing terms and conditions that negate the consumer's right to cancel their fixed-term contracts. I'm joined now by Acting National Consumer Commissioner Thezi Mabuza. Thank you very much, Commissioner, for your time here on ENCA. I'm assuming that this was also something that Vodacom did even during the COVID-19 times, when under lockdown a lot of people lost their jobs, and if you couldn't cancel your contract, then you become blacklisted, right? It's very unfair.
It is, and it's very distressing, because when a person just makes that decision to say, you know what, I can't afford this, I need to cancel and all that, and you get a supplier that overburdens a consumer by saying that before you can even we consider your request, you have to pay a certain amount of money beforehand. And that actually for us was really something that is unbecoming, unconscionable, as you said, that it was really something to be frowned upon.
And I mean, I know that they are being fined 1 million rand, but can you imagine the consumer that did end up paying that money? How do they get it back? Can they even get it back now that they've been found guilty of actually doing things the wrong way?
We assume that for now, because they have, from our engagement with Vodacom, they had promised us that they have instituted some repayments to some of the consumers. Those that have been blacklisted, their names have been removed, and then that they have also stopped in terms of their terms and conditions of their contract. As of last year, they said that they have amended that. But we are yet to see that as a commission. We will be observing the space and see if maybe from their conduct, even if they say so to us, if we do not receive any kind of complaints related especially to the issue of the 75% cancellation penalty for any contract of Vodacom, then we would know that indeed they have desisted from pursuing consumers in that manner and actually continuing to contravene the provisions of the Consumer Protection Act.
And I mean, Commissioner, you know, for me, it's the blatant disregard by these large companies. I mean, if you look at it, they'll always threaten the consumer by saying, but you signed the contract, where in the contract it stipulates. But aren't they more in the wrong if they didn't create a contract that is within the Constitution?
They are in the wrong. That's why even now, even if during our engagement and during our engagement with them, they had agreed actually to repay some of the consumers and cancel the contract. And we said that, but that doesn't negate the contravention, your behavior, because what we are dealing with is the behavior that they were portraying, and also their conduct towards consumers in disregarding the provisions of the Consumer Protection Act. Because for now, the only bunch that we know are those consumers that really filed their complaints. But we don't know in terms of now their conduct, how much actually that provision or that conduct actually benefited them. And we are kind of like, as a commission, we felt that we also did not make so much noise around that in making sure that we ring-fence the profit that they would have made for SIM only. And we have learned from that so that the next time when things like this happen, that we can ring-fence, especially for bigger companies, wherein you would find that they have multiple streams of other business revenues, and it's difficult for you to say that the portion actually of the SIM only was this amount. So we have learned from that, and I'm sure that next time we will do better. But we hope that with this interaction with Vodacom, that other suppliers would actually now look at their contracts and look at their conduct and respect consumers and the consumer law as well.
This actually teaches us quite a lot, not only with cell phone networks, Commissioner, I must say. Sometimes it's even with insurance companies, the ones that insure your vehicle, etc. When you try to get out and they tell you have to give them a certain period, or pay to actually cancel that contract with them. But just lastly, 1 million rand, is it enough? I mean, hasn't the consumer, haven't you as an organization punished cell phone networks, maybe not for this specific kind of transgression before, before, but I'm sure they've been found wanting quite a couple of times with your organization, and they just keep taking chances and pushing the fence. So 1 million rand, is that enough?
That it was not enough. As you said, Masego, I think this was our second rodeo with Vodacom, because before it was on the very same issue, but then we kept on now being blocked based on issues of procedural fairness, and we learned with every matter that we take before the tribunal, we find ways in which we should not be doing it, and in this case, at least we make a breakthrough, because now when you look at the commission against some of the suppliers, we have a budget of around 80 million in essence, and they've got how much? Billions.
Yes.
And then they've got lawyers and so forth. We only have 4 attorneys that we are using. We even argued this matter in-house. It was our own attorneys, our own investigators. We only have 5 investigators. And we told ourselves that we are going to push through and we are going to learn from our mistakes. We learned and we know how to do it better. And with this, as you said, the 1 million, it's not really enough. We felt that we should have done better, but then we looked at our research, we saw the weaknesses in terms of now ring-fencing some of the businesses, because with bigger businesses like this, they have a number of multiple streams of income.
How did you get to the number 1 million, Commissioner? How did you get to the number 1 million?
The 1 million actually is determined by the tribunal. We pray when we go to the tribunal to say they have contravened. It's either it's 1 million or 10% of their annual turnover. And in this instance, because of now the repayment, the tribunal felt that the 1 million will be enough.
Okay, Commissioner, thank you very much for your time here on E&CA. Second rodeo with Vodacom, 1 million rand fine. You decide if that is enough. The Commissioner agrees with me that it's not, because a company like Vodacom makes billions in terms of, their returns each year. Acting National Consumer Commissioner, that is Thezi Mabuza.